What's going on, guys? Static here, and welcome back to Black Aperture for another episode of Spawn Point. Now, today's episode is going to be slightly different to usual. Most episodes we test one block and one block only. In today's episode, I've been getting a lot of requests to test one specific block. However, this block makes no real practical sense to test, so I thought I'd throw a couple of other related blocks into the test and make a special out of it. So, in today's episode, we were requested to test the end portal frame. And alongside that, we'll also be testing Endstone and the Ender Chest. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our test pads set up for our first test. Now, my guess as to why people wanted to see the Ender portal frame tested is simply because since it was such a rare block, wasn't previously available to us in creative mode and all that kind of jazz, it would have been very rare to see a whole room filled with these things, and so people would be quite curious as to whether or not mobs were able to spawn on them. So let's flick off the lights and see what happens. Okay, so now as usual, we've got our one control pad over there not covered in the block in question. So if we can't get any spawns on the Ender portal frames, we'll see if we can try and get a spawn on that back pad. And it looks like we have got, yeah, we've definitely got one spider on the back pad there, and now a skeleton, but I'm still not seeing any spawns on the Ender portal frames. So it looks like mobs cannot spawn on these portal frames. So let's set up the next test. And there we have test number 2 set up. Now, my guess as to the reason why Endstone was suggested as a possible test is pretty much the same reason that I think Netherrack was suggested all those episodes ago, and it's simply the fact that Netherrack and Endstone are mostly found in alternate dimensions in Minecraft, and although they do have mobs spawn on them, so like the Enderman in the end, a lot of people don't see large clusters of Endstone in the overworld, and as such, people seem to be curious as to whether mobs other than Enderman are able to spawn on top of the Endstone. With that being said, let's flick off the lights and see if we get any spawns aside from Enderman. And already we see spiders, skeletons, and what I thought was a spider jockey spawn. So as you can see, mobs can clearly spawn on top of Endstone. Alright, and as you can see, guys, we've got our third and final test set up, and boy does it look cool. Now, to be honest, this test wasn't requested. I just thought it went along with the Endstone and the End Portal frame tests, and so I thought I'd do it for the sake of being thorough, and also just because I thought it'd be cool to see an entire room filled with these end chests, and I've got to say, I think I was right. I think that looks absolutely awesome. To be honest, I'm not really expecting any spawns, but just to be safe, let's flick off the lights and see what happens. Now, I'm not sure how well this test is going to work, because I believe these end chests do actually give off a little bit of light. But hopefully it's dark enough on that on our control pad up the back there to try and get some spawns regardless. Although it's not looking like we're going to be terribly lucky. Alright, there we go. We do actually have a spider on that back pad finally. So there we go, guys. I think that's pretty conclusive proof that mobs cannot spawn on top of the Ender chests. So this means that we can now put Endstone into our spawnable chest alongside of double half slabs, wool, mushrooms, pressure plates, netherrack, fence gates, furnaces, crafting tables, redstone lamps, mycelium, tripwire, and our upside down slabs and stairs. We can also put end chests and our end portal frame in the non-spawnable box, along with our single half slabs, redstone repeaters, cake, TNT, closed fence gates, lily pads, enchantment tables, pistons, chests, bedrock, ice, and beds. Now, I'm not sure that these tests have any practical applications, guys, aside from the fact that now we know that if you want your base to be spawn free, don't use Endstone as your flooring. Although end chests and the end portal frames are non-spawnable blocks, I don't really think it's feasible to use those as flooring solutions. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please feel free to show that like button some love. I really appreciate it. And if there's a block up in the wall that you'd like to see tested, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And if it gets enough interest, we'll test it in the next episode. Also, if there's a block that you'd like to see tested that's not currently up on the wall, again, let me know. And if I think it'll be an interesting test, or if the test gets enough interest, I'll chuck it up on the wall and we'll test it soon enough. Anyway guys, I've been Static, and I will catch you guys next time.